Alright, so this one is solve absolute value equations and inequalities. Alright, so I know I probably didn't tell you before I left on Friday to remember to watch this notes video, but it was posted, so hopefully you figured that out. If not, just watch it tonight. It's not a lot of notes, it's just a little bit about inequalities and the absolute value, just how they work, but obviously you'll see that as we walk through the examples. So we'll start with number 4. Okay, so these ones say to decide whether the given number is a solution of the equation. So the absolute value of d plus 6 is equal to 10, and the number is -4. Okay, so if we plug -4 in for d, -4 plus 6 is equal to what? 2. So the absolute value of 2, which is not equal to 10, so it is not a solution. Okay, and remember, technically, because it's positive, the absolute value bars go away.
So, could you take away the absolute value bars on the -4 plus 6 first, or do you have to leave them?
No, because if this were to be flipped, let's say this was 4 minus 6 in absolute value bars, this would be the absolute value of -2. If you had taken it away, you would think the answer is just -2, but it's really this. Absolute value makes everything positive, basically. Alright, let's see. Same instructions, number 8. The absolute value of 17 minus 8r is equal to 15, and the number is 4. Alright, so plugging 4 in, I have the absolute value of 17 minus 8 times 4. So this is the absolute value of 17 minus 32. Absolute value of -15, which is equal to what? 15, which is equal to the 15. So it is a solution. Okay, those make sense? That kind. Awesome. Alright, one thing to remember about absolute value is there can be 2 possible solutions, a positive and a negative value, because they both will come out to give you the same thing, because the absolute value bars make everything positive. So just keep that in mind, that there could be 2 possible numbers that work for these, so we have to set them up twice. So first of all, number 10, these just say to solve, and then it says to graph. Don't worry about the graph part, I don't care about that, I just want the solve part. So the absolute value of y is equal to -5. So what value of y makes it equal to -5?
5.
Can an absolute value ever give me a negative out of it? No. So no solution. Gave you a trick one to start with.
How do we ever trust you?
You know. Alright, same instructions. Not a trick question this time. The absolute value of h minus 4 is equal to 4.
You got H or N?
H. Okay, so we set this up 2 ways. Okay, the left side, we're going to just write as h minus 4. The right side, for one of them, it's just going to be copied down exactly. For the other one, okay, we're going to put a negative on it. So the first one is going to be h minus 4 is equal to 4. And then I like to just draw a line between the two of them. And then the other one is h minus 4 is equal to negative 4. Okay? Not saying that I'm going to get the negative 4 out of the absolute value, but saying that the inside of the absolute value can be equal to negative 4 to still give me an answer that comes out to be positive. Okay? Does that kind of make sense? Okay. So, solve for h in this one. What do you get?
8.
Okay? How about this one?
0.
And h is equal to 0. So those are your two solutions. So that says if I plug in 8 back into this absolute value, 8 minus 4 is 4. The absolute value of 4 still is 4, which gives us that. If I plug in 0, 0 minus 4 is negative 4. The absolute value of that makes it positive and sends it out as positive 4.
So they're always going to be 2 answers.
Yeah, oh well, yes. There's, I guess, a theoretical possibility that it could be a repeated number. That, like, the same number could be a solution to both. Like, if it was, yeah, it's possible. But most of the time, there will be 2 answers. You should always at least check for 2. They may come out to be the same. Let's see. Let's do one more of those. Let's do 18. The absolute value of 6 minus p is equal to 4. So how would I go about setting these two up?
You want to do 6 minus p equals 4.
And then same thing, but negative 4 on the other side.
And then solving for p, what do I get for this one on the left?
You get negative, no, 2.
Okay, so negative p equals negative 2. So p is equal to 2. How about this one?
Negative 2. Oh,
P is equal to positive.
Yep, so 2 and 10 are the two solutions here. Okay, and you can always plug it back in and make sure it makes sense. Okay, it's another section where you can check your answers and guarantee that you're right. Okay, you don't have to wonder if you're going to get it right when I go to grade it, unless you just can't add or subtract correctly when you plug something back in. Otherwise, you'll know that you got it right or wrong.
well, we're also on algebra too, so we should probably know how to add.
You know, you would hope so, but I'm just saying. Sometimes I can't add or subtract. Like, I'm just going to be honest with you.
All the time I can't add or subtract.
Like, the fact that, like, I have a calculator to do things, literally, I forget. Like, I can't add quickly in my head anymore like I used to be able to, and it's really annoying. But I might get back to it at some point.
The math grind.
It's like in college, you have to do so much, like, hard math that, like, really isn't relevant to what I do, and it's like you forget how to do, like, the basic stuff. Like, my math was more words than numbers in college, and it's like, yeah, that's not, I don't like
It's not
that.
math.
What
It's
math did you
English.
take in college?
What math did I take in college? I took real analysis 1 and 2. I took linear algebra. I took, which is not what you think. It's not algebra of lines. It is not that. I took stats that was calculus based, so everything you did you had to do using calculus. I took Calc 1, 2, and 3.
That's because you were a math major, right?
Yeah.
Like, not everybody got to do that.
No. But I'm just saying most of those had more words than numbers, and I don't like that.
Yeah, that's
I was like, I didn't go to be an English major on purpose, so.
I was gonna do, like, a biology.
Wait, what do you like? I know you have to use math and physics.
or physics.
Oh yeah, and I took calc-based physics, so I had to do physics. Everything that you can do in physics can be done by basic algebra, but I had to do it using calculus
Oh my
in the class that I took.
Yo,
That's
No,
never
I'm just gonna take
Awful.
regular
never in my life.
That's what I wanted to do, and then they were like, no, you can't. And I was like, well, I'll never use it again. Like, there's no way I would ever teach physics. Like, absolutely not. And then the first year I came here, they were like, guess what? You get to teach physics. And I was like, fantastic.
Are there any like easy degrees that you can get in college?
They might not be that useful, but.
Yeah, I had a friend in college who majored in coaching.
That's a thing?
That's a thing.
You can major in coaching?
Like a life
Is that like,
No, like how to be a soccer coach.
how do you?
4 years, 4 years of college
For that?
Easiest class
to be able to be a
ever,
high school
like,
soccer
My
coach.
dad was never.
What classes do
My
you
dad
take?
got his coaching experience from.
You don't even
parenthood.
need to do that. Like,
Case in point. But there is an easy option.
don't.
Though some people don't pass.
Yo,
Just saying. So,
I've got like if I went to college, it'd be for like sports, but like I know they make you study something.
oh yeah, you.
Yes, you
Well,
have to.
that's the point of
Well, because you have to
college.
take all the
Unless I
basic
just get,
stuff.
like a full athletic.
You still have to.
Yeah, you still have to take classes,
You
Dave.
have to get
Dude,
certain
they're
grades
so
to keep
dumb.
that scholarship.
That's how
What
college
if it's
works.
like Michael Jordan and they need him like on the basketball team, but he can't study.
Grades
the rest.
matter even if
You
you're a
play
college
basketball.
athlete.
Yeah, you don't have good
You
grades.
have to have a
ball.
certain
Going
grade.
Yeah, you
Point
have to have
average.
a good GPA.
A good
No,
G.
I know
A
that.
good G.
It's just yeah, it's a good time, but
Yeah.
it's fine. I enjoyed college. It sounds like I didn't, but I promise I did. I
know
miss
that
it.
I'm not
but-
majoring
Wait, I
in
No.
and math.
I could tell you other things to not do or to do, but
If you ever want to just be like, say I graduated college, but you're not that good at anything, just do coaching.
Yeah. Classes keep thanks to that.
Getting your doctorate.
there was literally like a coaching basketball class where literally they would go in the gym and play basketball for an hour or two a week.
I'm gonna get my PhD in coaching.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you something when the video is off about it. Anyways, all right, these ones just say to solve the equation. Okay, so same thing. I don't really know why it's listed in a separate section other than it doesn't tell you to graph in this one, but for me, you're not graphing anyway, so it doesn't matter. All right, so how do I set this one up?
3g plus 14 equals -7. And then the other one would be 3g plus 14 equals 7. I did it backwards, but I don't know, that's just how my words came out.
I knew what you were trying to say.
It happened.
All right, so this one, how do I do it?
Subtract 14 to 7,
Subtract 3g.
and then divide 7 by 3.
So
Maybe
you get like
Oh.
Negative 50, is that gross?
I really don't like
At least you don't have to do anything with this fraction.
Yeah.
You just get it and it just gets to sit there
that.
Yay.
and be in a box. That's fine.
Forever.
Yeah.
Locked in the box forever.
Never
subtract
escape.
14.
All right, how about this one?
We gotta subtract 14, that equals 3g equals -21, then we subdivide the
Negative
3g equals -7. Smart. I didn't.
Awesome.
Well, I was still explaining the problem, Jake.
Do we need to see another one like that, or are we okay?
No.
There's literally like a whole section of like 16 problems like that, so just wondering if we need to do another
We
one.
can't
I
Or
think
if
we're
we're good.
okay.
Everybody okay?
Pretty sure.
Anybody object to moving on?
Watch me scribble.
If so, it's really okay. I don't want to bore you.
Oh, I object to like doing anything with anything.
Well,
This entire class. Just,
Wow, Josh, that's a little hard.
I'm sorry, it's math. It's better than math I've done before.
Geometry.
Yeah, it's better than geometry. Definitely.
all right. So do y'all know anything about extraneous solutions?
I don't know what the word extraneous means, so no.
So it's a solution that in practice looks like it works, but when we plug it back in, it won't work.
So it's a not a
So
solution.
you get
Huh?
It's a false
Yeah.
solution.
Yeah, it won't actually be a solution.
Like why
But
is
it
that?
comes out as a number, but it's
It'll show up like this that it's a number that works, but when you plug it back in, it won't be a true statement.
That's
It's
why we
like-
gotta
it's
check
like-
stuff.
Why does math-
Why would math do that?
Yeah.
It
Why?
specifically tells you that you need to check for the extraneous and the ones that you do, so it's not going to be
Okay.
obnoxious.
Okay.
And usually, like, there are sections of problems, like, can't think of one right off the top of my head. There's a section later in the book where you always have to check to see if an answer is extraneous because it's very possible that one of them won't be. And it's just like, you know that whole section you have to check all of them. But this one, it'll just be a little section that says make sure you check for extraneous.
To, like, solve stuff, so like
why is math like trying to purposely make you?
Yeah.
You'll see why in just a second, why this makes, like, why it's like this.
Why it makes 2%.
All right, so the absolute value of 3x minus 4 is equal to x. Okay, so part of the reason, I'm not saying this one does or doesn't have an extraneous solution, but there's now an x out here. So it's not inside where it's going to be made positive and just have a number that's out front that it's got to be equal to. So sometimes the x outside of the absolute value is what's going to cause it to not be true. It will look true, but then when you plug it back in, it won't be. So we set it up the same way. We still do the 3x minus 4 is equal to x. And then 3x minus 4 is equal to negative x. So now, though, what you need to pay attention to is you need to get your x's together. Okay? Like I'm not going to add this 4 to this side because then it's...
Oh, no.
So I am gonna put the x's on the left. But I'm going to do it by subtracting this 3x over here. I'm just going to write it in reverse. Is that going to confuse anybody if I do
If
that?
if the police comes for you when you do that, just
All right. I'm subtracting 3x, so that's going to give me negative 2x. I just flipped it. Okay, just because I like the x's on the left. I'm not OCD, but I can be about little things like that. So then x is equal to 2.
Yeah. OCD isn't always like a cleaning thing. Like that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like everybody thinks that like people with OCD are like neat freaks. Like
I'm like an organized person that like wants everything in a calendar. I want to know when things are happening and all this other stuff. But like my room is an absolute mess. Like it's bad.
my room is actually pretty good.
Because a lot of things with like OCD is like your brain is telling you have to do this a certain number of times, or else like it's gonna like you're gonna die. Like when I was a kid, I used to have to turn the doorknob 8 times, or like I felt like the door wasn't actually closed or something. It was really weird.
Yeah.
It got better, but I still do that for some stuff. Like sometimes.
All right, on this one, we need to subtract this 3x over. Okay, so this is going to give me negative 4x is equal to negative 4. And then dividing x is equal to 1. Okay, I'm going to take them and I'm going to plug them in up here. So 3 times 2 minus 4 is equal to 2. 6 minus 4 equals 2. 2 is equal to 2. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the absolute value bars there. So that one works. This one, 3 times 1 minus 4 is equal to 1. Huh?
What?
Huh?
What I thought,
What?
is it
I don't know.
is it equal to negative 1? Or is it
I don't know.
It's-
I was just
No,
saying
it's going
it.
back
I'm
into the
sorry.
original.
Oh.
I didn't mean to confuse
Yeah,
you.
sorry, I should have specified that. It's all going back in the original.
Oh my bad.
Confuse you.
So that's the absolute value of negative 1 is equal to 1. Because it's an absolute value of a negative, it comes out positive, so 1 is equal to 1. So that one also works in this case.
So it's not
Really
extraneous.
confusing.
Oh, wait, so it has two.
Nope, so both of those are solutions.
Yeah, so do the ones we did before.
So this makes it not extraneous. Is that?
So you just, by checking it, you verified that they're both real solutions and they're not extraneous, essentially.
That's boring.
Josh.
All right. The next one's
Just
going to have
what?
fractions. I'm just going to apologize now. 38.
Be accepted.
9 minus 2x is equal to 10 plus 3x. Okay. One thing you have to remember, okay, obviously one of them is always just being copied straight down. So 9 minus 2x is equal to 10 plus 3x. Okay, now this is the first time that we've had one in here where there's two numbers on the right-hand side. Okay, when we're setting the whole thing to be equal to the negative of that right-hand side value, we've essentially got to distribute the negative through. So when we do this one, 9 minus 2x is going to be equal to negative 10 minus 3x. Okay, so that negative sign has to go on both things. Now, obviously, if one of the signs was negative to begin with, you're going to be making it positive. But so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move my x's to the left, numbers to the right. So that's going to be negative 5x is equal to 1. X equals negative 1/5. Over here, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to move the x's to the left, numbers to the right. So that's going to give me x is equal to negative 19. By the way, was this the class that I said earned a cookie point the other day?
Yes, yes.
What's a
Yeah.
cookie?
It was? Okay.
Cookie
That's what
point,
I
yes.
thought. I forgot to write it on the board.
What's
So
that?
Yeah.
What's
I'm
that?
pretty sure they're lying.
Wait, what's a cookie point?
Yeah.
okay, so it wasn't this class.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna turn down free cookies. Like, if
So for every mistake that I make that y'all correct before I do, you earn a cookie point.
So we
How
get
many
those
points do you need to get an
and then
actual
the cookie point.
You need 10 points as a class to earn a pack of cookies.
Yeah, I think we
Wow.
did that, right?
And y'all only have 6 people, so your cookies could last you like a week. Because I'll bring in like a pack of Oreos, or like last year the kids
I
liked.
thought you meant like those like an actual just like one little cookie.
Oh no, you earn like a pack of cookies.
Wow.
Cookies.
No
Like
way.
like last year, the class liked those elf cookies, those double fudge elf cookies.
No.
So I brought
you
those
should-
in.
you should
Wait,
get-
you know like the
should-
Christmas cookies? The Christmas ones?
Christmas
It's
cookies.
like, I know that's like so like bland, but
You know
it's like
what?
the shortbread cookies, but it's like,
you know the soft
it's
one?
like
Yeah,
the
it's
white,
Oreos.
the
The
white
Oreos are
dough,
just awesome.
Get the Pokemon or get the limited edition Pokemon
So-
Oreos.
Like last year, they liked the caramel coconut ones.
The maple
I don't like
Oreos
that.
taste like pancakes.
I literally
You
okay.
did
So
grow
last
up
year that was
with
what the class wanted. So like that they wanted those ones once. They wanted
I want pancakes.
the double fudge elves once, and then they wanted the coconut Oreos.
Get grilled
I don't
out.
like coconut.
Usually it averages out that you get cookies like once a quarter.
The mints.
Thin mints in the coconut.
So.
Coconut
Oh, I
ones.
love them.
What if you just have like a really bad day and just make
Yeah,
like 10
just-
mistakes
yeah.
and
So we
you
get
know,
cookies like
get
I also will do it like if I've made a mistake in like my answer keys for my quiz or something, and when I put them up, and like it caused there to be an issue,
confusion.
then you can earn one too, as long as y'all catch it before I do.
Wait a
The
minute.
problem is it's math, so it's going to
Wait a minute.
All right, so we need to check this.
Ah, dang it, I messed that up.
So the absolute value of 9 minus 2 times negative 1/5 is equal to 10 plus 3 times negative 1/5.
Those two?
All right, I would recommend going ahead and getting everything over 5. It'll just be easier. So I'm going to go ahead and write this 9 over 5, meaning what's on the top?
9. Wait.
Oh, negative?
45.
40, what the heck am I saying?
Ew.
All right, and then negative times negative is going to be positive, and that's going to be 2/5 is equal to, I'm going to write this 10 over 5, so it's just easier.
Why?
50.
50
Oh.
minus, also if y'all tell me the wrong thing and I write it down, it doesn't count.
Aw.
So like if he had just told me it was equal to 45, okay, just theoretically, and I wrote it down, I'm doing it, and then I'm going to go back and correct y'all later.
What if
I'm going to be like, are you sure?
What if it was an accident? We're just like, oh, I hope it's wrong.
Yeah, well then he owes you cookies.
Yeah, Jake.
I don't owe you anything.
Yeah. Give us the cookies.
No.
Alright, so this one is going to be 47 over 5. Okay, obviously it's not negative, so I can go ahead and drop the absolute value bars. Over here, 47 over 5. So this one works.
I'm done with that. Kill it.
Okay. For this other one, okay, I'm plugging in negative 19, okay, into the original. So 9 minus 2 times negative 19
What the?
is equal to 10 plus 3 times negative 19. So 9 plus 38 is equal to 10 minus, is that 57?
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
want it to be.
Wait, let me calculate it. Maybe it's a mistake, guys.
Oh my god.
It doesn't work.
Well, 3 times 20 is 60, and then subtract 3 would be 57.
Oh.
But,
That is
Okay, you're correct.
Work.
The math checks out.
They both
oh
For
good.
now.
So this is inside the absolute value over here. This is 47 equal to negative 47.
Wait,
Doesn't work.
it don't work.
That doesn't work. So this answer up here is extraneous.
It's a lie created by the government. Sorry. Right? Math doesn't actually work in the real world. Birds
aren't real.
Birds?
They're just cameras.
honestly.
Oh.
Alright, what book did you read to get that out of?
Huh?
So what book did you read to get that out of?
My dad works for the government. My dad's the president.
Oh, okay.
Yikes, you never.
I know, I was gonna say something and I was like, yeah, never mind, I'm not gonna say that.
I've also been told that
Dude, my dad was
I'm
president.
not
after
real.
Like the
Because I don't have
current
a
polls.
Oh yeah, Josh.
Yeah,
Josh
I
doesn't have
do.
a
I don't have a
Of like
face.
Walmart or something?
Of Walmart. I want to be the president of Home Depot.
Yeah, you get to.
Bro, Home
I don't
Depot
know.
has a
Play the
slap like theme music.
Their theme song is so good, and it smells really nice in
It
there.
was like whoosh.
Exactly.
Oh. Yes, because I love.
What is that?
It's
The absolute value of n minus 11 is greater than or equal to 1.
I don't want that.
Okay, so this one also gets written 2 ways, but it's not necessarily what you think. Okay, the first time it's a straight copy.
I know what it is.
N minus 11 is greater than or equal to 1. What's the other one, Josh?
N minus 11 is less than or
Almost.
less than or equal to negative 1.
Okay, n minus 11 is less than or equal to negative 1. Okay, any idea why that sign flips?
Because it's a negative, so you don't.
Okay, because it's negative. Okay, it's the equivalent of if you multiply or divide by a negative normally when you're doing inequalities. Okay, it's the same principle. So now this gives us add 11. So n is greater than or equal to 12. And then over here,
Is that right?
what?
Wait, I wrote my
10.
problem down
10.
wrong. I wrote N
You
Okay.
always
minus 1.
cookies.
So n is less than or equal to 10 or n is greater than or equal to 12. Okay. The instructions again say to graph it. I'm really not worried about that. Okay. Just don't worry about the graphing with this. More focused since we're kind of behind. I'm trying to get rid of things that aren't as big of a deal later on.
Nobody likes graphic anymore.
So, I mean, they're not like hard graphs, just like just number
They're
line,
still
but
gross.
48 f plus 6 is less than 2. Okay, so those are our two setups. So f is less than what? Negative 4. And f is greater than.
Negative 8.
Okay, so then the official way to write this is negative 8 is less than f, which is less than negative 4. Okay.
How do you know?
Because
Because 4
f was greater than -8. Look at where the mouth opens of the little alligator.
But like, so if it's a equal, like a greater than or equal to something like that, it would be an or.
No. So if this could have been this all the way down and it would have done the same thing.
Then why is that one an or?
So it's an or because, let me get back up. It's an or because n cannot be less than 10 and greater than 12.
Oh.
It can only be one or other at the same time. So it's like logically think about, that's part of why they say the graphing thing, because it's like logically think about where do these values have to fall. Okay, but I would only take off like 1, maybe 2 points on a test. Okay, if you didn't write it this way or you wrote the wrong one. Okay, now it should logically make sense. Like you're going in order of the numbers. -8 is smaller than -4. So f has to be in between those two. It can't be the other way around. Okay, so think about the number line in that sense. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, 9, 17, 25, 35, 37, 45, and 55.
Jake, it's like 7 problems.
Okay, there's not as much time as I normally would give for you guys to do these. So what I'll do is tomorrow's going to be review for the quiz on Wednesday. So tomorrow I'll make sure you also have time to like finish these so you do not have to do them for homework. I do want you to work on them now, but anyways.